You know how you know when it's time and you really need to raise your pricing and you've found a higher price that actually would be really supportive and it actually feels good to your heart, but you're still stuck raising it. You're not like you can't. It just feels hard to just raise the price. I want to speak to this because a lot of people have a lot of self-blame and self-judgment about being stuck in this place, and it's actually important to look at more closely. And this is Mark Silver with Heart of Business. What happens is that when someone has been in business for a little while and it's time to raise pricing, what's happening is that we are aware, consciously or unconsciously, of multiple groups of people within our audience that we are wanting to care for. And this isn't, it can be unhealthy or codependent, but usually not. Usually it's just coming from a genuine sense of caring, a genuine sense of wanting to care and honor people. One group of people could be folks that have been around for a while and they've been coming to whatever the offer is and paying the lower price and really got you your start in business and really have been a joy to work with, and they're beautiful, wonderful people, and they, some of them may have the resources for the new price and some of them just might not. A second group are newer people who have come to your business, who really need what it is that you do, and they don't have the resources for the new higher price. It would cause harm to them, or it would be a really hard stretch for them. And then the third group are people who come to your business and they love you, they love what you do, and the new pricing, which for them isn't new because they're new to your business, it's just your pricing, they can pay it. They can pay it happily. They're happy to do that and to jump in. How does one price honor all of these different relationships? And the answer is that it doesn't. Now, there are situations where people have maybe overgiven or depleted themselves so much that they're like, you know what, I just need to take a stand in my strength and just say, this is my price. And I'll refer out people who can't pay it, or, find other solutions, or just let the chips fall where they may. That's not necessarily a bad solution. There's not necessarily anything wrong with that, because we can't care for the whole world. We can't. However, for others, that is not a good solution. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't do justice to the caring that we have in our hearts and the relationships that we have with all these people. And so the answer, quite simply, is to be flexible. Is to not just stick with one price. I recommend that folks put the new higher price as the sustainable price. Like, that's the benchmark, that's the anchor, that's the price that's publicly visible. And then you can pick some kind of a flexible pricing strategy, whether it's our pay from the heart approach or other kinds of sliding scale. And you can then communicate directly with the folks who have been coming all along and say, hey, I know this is a change. My life circumstances have changed. I really need to make a living. I really need to be supported. And, not hopefully without any hint of apology, but just being clear, saying, I love you all. You've been there. You've helped me get started. I want to really honor that. And so if this new price causes you harm, I am open to a different price. And because I want you there. I want you to get what you need. And I just enjoy your presence. And a second thing you could do is on the sales page, where the sustainable price is, and say, there is some flexibility in this price if you know that this offer is something you need, and this price would cause you harm. And, there's a lot of different ways to word it. There's a lot of different ways to put it out there, different strategies, but you can. And so when you are caring for different people in different relationships with your business, it takes different communications and it takes different strategies, and sometimes it takes different pricing. And that is okay. That is healthy. There's nothing wrong with you for wanting to care for all of those. The one thing that you do have to remember, and I want to emphasize this, is that you can't leave yourself out. You have to be clear about what you need to care for yourself. You have to be clear about how much money you need to be sustained. And so that might create some limits on how many people you can let in at a lower price, if you have limits on how many people you can take. And that's okay. And that's okay. It's okay for them to have limits on how much they can spend, and it's okay for you to have limits on how much you need to receive. But if you get clarity around that, then you can honor those relationships, you can be honest with people, you can communicate with the different groups, and you can still express your generosity and caring. So I hope it's been helpful. I'm curious how it lands. I'm curious if you have any questions or pushback or thoughts or experiences with this. And I just wish the very best to you and your business.